Since selling our company, I became very involved in our community, and I serve on the Wellstar Hospital's Foundation Board, where we raise money for people that have extensive cancer, cardiac needs, where their health insurance cuts off, isn't able to help pay for their advanced treatment. In addition to that, I raise money for Must Ministries, which is a Christian ministry located in Cobb County that helps people that are on the verge of homelessness be able to keep their homes, be able to find employment. In addition to that, I also served in the Deal Together Finance Committee, where I wrote every goal that was given to me and raised money for many other candidates in this last election cycle.
Thank you. Ms. Everhart.
I've worked in campaigns for longer than I would like to remember. Many of them are still in office today. I was president of the largest women's club in the state, grew its membership from 64 to over 200 in a year. I'm moved up to be the 6th district chairman of the party. After then, I was first vice chair of the state party. I was a former banker. I was a senior vice president with the 5th largest bank in the state. And at the time that I became senior vice president, I was listed in Who's Who of banking as the youngest VP in the industry that didn't have family ties. I then became, in 07, the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party. I was reelected in 2009, and under my leadership, the Republican Party has grown to a level that we could not imagine 10 years ago. It has a complete overhaul of our IT system, everything. We have all the social media, we have the growth factor built into the equipment to do anything that a rocket bomber will be able to do, and I paid for it, and it's all paid for 5 more years, well 3 more now, but with the next chairman won't need what I get when I walk into the state party.
Thank you, candidates. We're now moving on to the candidate to candidate portion. Each candidate will ask his or her 2 rivals 1 question, and we will start with Ms. Pridemore.
I'll ask my first question now, Mr. Hanley. What are the top 3 weaknesses that you currently see at the state Republican Party?
One of the main things is technology. I think there's a lot of work needs to be done. It's very weak in the area of raising money online. It's an area where I do believe it needs a lot of work. I think Chairman Everhart's done good work getting started, but we've got to make a lot of progress in the technology in a very short time. Minority outreach is something we've been talking about a lot. It's been a bedrock of our campaign, getting into historical black colleges, having a real plan to get into the Hispanic areas, Hispanic chambers of commerce, Asians. Gwinnett County is a great example. So many different Asian and Hispanic populations, good people, conservatives who need to be brought into our party. The third area is, Chairman Everhart, you do a very good job. But I would say I got one problem with some of the ways the infrastructure of the organization has been run. That's mainly because when I took over the Fulton County Republican Party, I was stuck with a lease. I couldn't get out of it unless I paid to get out of it. Now we've got this idea that it's very tough for a new chairman to come in with his own vision or her own vision of their own. We're getting hunkered down with large phone systems that were put in, long-term leases, and it's going to be tough, I think, for a chairman to implement his own vision over the next year.
Question number 2.
Chairman Everhart, the state Republican Party wrapped up this last election season with over $1.6 million in the bank, in spite of the fact of a narrow loss in the 2nd Congressional District, a loss in 12th, the 13th, and several others. What would you have done differently, knowing the money that's in the bank?
Nothing. Nobody has a crystal ball, and I work very closely with the RGA during the campaigns. Senate and House of Representatives, and that money they direct, and we go together to pay for their races and their expenses, and we kind of have a gentleman's agreement. If we don't have to have it, we don't spend it. We spent all of the money that we could spend in the 12th district, the 2nd district, and the 8th district. And I would suggest that you do what I did if you want to be chairman. I already have a good knowledge of campaign finance, but I went online and I downloaded it, and every night I read some of it until I knew it front and back, and I wouldn't be asking questions like this because I knew what I was doing.
Ms. Pridemore, I think we have a 30-second rebuttal. No? Okay, all right. Okay. Mr. Hanley, your two questions.
Thank you. This first one is for Ms. Pridemore. You know, I think the words, we're all getting a little tired of the word grassroots and bottom up without some real meaning behind them. You know, how is it that, respectfully, that we can go from convention to convention in helicopters with the governor and somehow think that this is a bottom-up mentality in dealing with the grassroots.
Mr. Hanley, I'm very thankful to anyone who would like to make an in-kind contribution to my campaign. There are many Georgia Republicans that just do not believe that we're ready to take on Barack Obama in 2012. So I'm thankful for that. It also gave me the opportunity to meet many more Georgia Republicans and see many more Georgia Republicans on Saturday. And with the record turnout across the state, I was very, very honored to be able to do that. Also, I have a Growers plan called the Growers Plan, and it's available on my website, TriciaPachair.com. The Growers Plan starts with grassroots first. I released a comprehensive plan for reinforcing county leadership teams and district leadership teams so that they have the tools and the resources from the state Republican Party to make them more successful. That's my definition of grassroots.
Thank you. Your second question. Yeah. Your second question.
Chairman Everhart, there's been, years ago, we did have more than 150 county chairmen. As you know, we now have as many as 25 to 26 counties without any Republican organization, no county chairman. There might be some sub-organizations. Why did it get to that point, and what have you done to kind of get moving and get some more counties organized?
Mr. Hanley, we have never had 150 organized counties. We have had contacts in all 50 counties, and we still have contacts in 150 counties. Since I've been elected, there has been 11 new counties formed and in operation and had county conventions last weekend, or weekend before that. We work every day with the county chairman and the district chairman in the various districts to work along with getting these new counties formed. Down in the 2nd district, that district chairman is doing his job. He's already formed 2 counties with our help. We've done it in the 1st district. Pat Tippett has every county in her district but one. But we partner with the district chairman that are in areas where they don't have where they have counties that are not formed or formal counties. And I think we've done a real good job of getting them organized and getting them on the seats on the local election board.
Ms. Everhart, your 2 questions.
My first question is to Mr. Hanley. Mr. Hanley, you've got a beautiful family, a beautiful wife, 2 little cute children, and another one on the way. You have a job, a full-time job, so you can support that family. You already have a heavy workload, and believe me, even though it's non-paid, the Georgia Republican Party is a full-time job. How do you propose to be able to do that job since you tell me you're not independently wealthy and can take off from that job, or that you have employees that can do some of the work that you would normally do from your office?
Did my wife give you that question? I am blessed. I have a wonderful family. I work a lot of hours. The great thing about owning your own business, being a consultant, you pretty much make your own hours. And my wife yells at me a little bit too much when she says I do 2 hours of work a day and 8 hours of politics a day. But the important thing is I know how to organize, I know how to prioritize, I know what's most important in my life. And the fact is, you're right, Sue, the most important things in my life were my wife and my unborn baby and my other 2 children at home. But listen, I got involved in politics for the same reason I went to the Marine Corps. It was a real way to serve. And I believe I'm going to be ready. I got the full support of Tricia and my whole family, and I'd be blessed if I could be a chairman.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Everhart, question number 2.
Tricia, on your website, you state that you served as a deployed volunteer for the McCain presidential campaign. But according to your voting record, you did not vote in the 208 presidential preference primary, or did you vote in the Georgia Republican primary in 208? The definition of grassroots means that you are involved in the party and in the point that you vote for the candidates. Could you tell me why you did not vote in these primaries in 2008?
Chairman, I believe that my record shows that I did vote in the 2008 presidential preference primary. My husband and I were deployed volunteers to Ohio. We worked in Butler and Hamilton counties in the McCain campaign as volunteers.
Apparently, we voted for the county courthouse in
Are you giving me the eye here, Mr. Hanley? Do you want to jump in here?
I was just going to say, not to pile on, but we didn't even get the 1998 voting records when you voted in the Democratic primary, and you voted in the Democratic primary run. How did that?
30 seconds for you, Ms. Pridemore.
Yes, at the same time that I was president of Kansas State University College Republicans, and I'll be real frank, College Republicans get into submission. So I don't exactly remember that vote. I have contacted the College County vote, but we College Republicans do get into
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to jump in here on my own volition here, and I will pose the same question to Ms. Everhart and Mr. Hanley. Have either of you ever voted in a Democratic primary of any kind, presidential or otherwise?
I did one time. Don't even remember what year, but I know we were working towards. We had a candidate that we wanted. It wasn't the president. We wanted it to be. We were trying to take out the strongest one of the Democrats, and I can't remember who it was or what year I did it, but I do remember one year that it did happen. But it was a long time ago.
Mr. Hanley, do you want to confess?
I'm going to confess. I did vote for Saxby in 2008.
We're going to move to the next phase, and I got to say, we're moving to the questions that y'all have sent in here, and